Living with a mental health issue can feel paralyzing and make you feel like you are all alone and there is no one else in this world who would understand or who has experienced or is experiencing what you feel at the moment. Today, I want to talk to you about a few Nigerian celebrities who have experienced or struggled with their mental health in the past or are currently struggling with a mental health related concern. Now, the purpose of this video is just for educational content and also just to raise awareness for mental health, letting you know that you're not alone. There's so many people who are going through the exact same thing that you are. Statistics has it that 1 in 4 people in the world, 1 in 4 people would experience a mental health challenge in their lifetime. So you're not alone. And please, nobody should come for me. But yeah, this video is simply an educational content and just to let you know that you're not alone. There are so many people as well going through what you are. And I know sometimes we feel like celebrities have it all figured out and things like that. But let's not forget one thing. They are humans first before they became famous or before they became stars or celebrities. And because they are humans and because you are human and because you have emotions in you, you can experience a mental health issue. Anyone can. So do not feel alone. Do not feel discouraged. Do not feel dejected. Do not feel paralyzed. You can achieve anything that you want to achieve when you get the actual help that you need. All right, so I am quickly going to talk to you guys about Nigerian celebrities, some Nigerian celebrities who have spoken about their mental health struggles. Also, a quick disclaimer, I'm not saying diagnosed mental health issues because for some of them, I do not know if they've been diagnosed before, but remember that mental health is on a spectrum. Mental health issues are on a spectrum, and you go from being mentally healthy, right, being having optimal mental health to experiencing some challenge in life, stress. All of those things are mental health challenges, just kind of like bumps you experience on the road. And then there is a diagnosed mental health disorder that contributing anxiety, depression, schizophrenia, etc. and etc. So you have all of these things. So remember that it's a spectrum and it's not from one end to the other end automatically, and any one of us can be anywhere. You could go from experiencing an optimal mental health right now to 2 seconds Agbe will tear your shirt or downfall treats you some kind of way, and then you're experiencing a lot of stress in your life. All right, so let's get straight to it. So the very first person that I am going to talk about is Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. I know, I'm a fan of Chimamanda as well. All right, so I'm going to read something here. In 2015, in an article with The Guardian UK, Chimamanda spoke about her struggle with depression, and she said, I quote, "Sometimes it begins with a pimple. A large shiny spot appears on my forehead, or it begins with a feeling of heaviness and I long to wear only loose-fitting clothes. Then my mood plunges, my lower back aches, my inside turns liquid, stomach cramps come in spasms so painful I sometimes cry out. I lose interest in the things I care about. My family become unbearable. My friends become strangers with dark intentions, and cashiers and waiters seem unforgivably rude. I am strong. Everyone who knows me thinks so. So why can't I just brush that feeling aside? I look at the doctor and I accept the name of a condition that has been familiar to me for as long as I can remember: depression. Depression is not sadness. It is powerlessness. It is helplessness. It is both to suffer and to be unable to console yourself." So imagine the weight of these words that she spoke. Imagine how much she felt or how much struggle she was in at that point in time. I mean, this is Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie we're talking about. All right. So it's not, don't think that because I am experiencing depression or because I feel this way, nobody else has felt this way, I'm all alone, I'm never going to be able to amount to anything in my life. This is Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, one of the most celebrated authors in the world, right? Because I call her an artist because that woman is an artist. But anyway, that's aside. So please, if anything, this should come off as a reminder and as reassurance that you are going to be okay. Seek help. Remember, she spoke about speaking to the doctors. So please seek help, and you will get the actual help that you need, and you will be better. You would achieve all that you want to achieve in life. All right, let's get to the very next person. The very next person I'm going to talk about is Toyin Abraham. Now, I do not have all of this information off the top of my head, so I'm going to be reading a lot from what I have in front of me here. Again, I'm going to link some of these articles, or most of the, if not all of the articles, in the description box, so you can go there and check them out for yourself. So the next person I'm going to talk about is Toyin Abraham. Toyin Abraham, based on an article I read from DNB Stories, I believe, she spoke about her struggles with depression briefly, particularly after her separation from Adeniyi Jones. Now, Toyin also revealed that she had a history of substance use and addiction. Remember that substance use is a brain disease. In fact, it's a brain disease. All right, addiction is a brain disease. You need to remember that. It's not something I tell people because you're addicted, get over it or stop using. It's not as easy as that. It's a struggle that people have to deal with. All right. She revealed the history of substance misuse and addiction with drugs and smoking, for which she sought the help of therapists, which helped her to overcome her depression. She went to the right channel. She found the help that she needed and she got it. So if you are in this scenario as well, please reach out for help. I am going to leave also some organizations, therapists, contact and all that in the description box. Feel free to use them. If you need more or you need a therapist completely tailored to you, you can reach out to me via email. If you want to book a therapy session with me, you can also reach out through my email. Now let's get to the next person. Now the very next person I'm going to talk about is Ada Ameh. May her soul rest in peace. Ada Ameh, in November 2021, in an interview with Today, she talked about her life, her experiences, and some of the challenges that she was going through. This woman grieved a lot. She was grieving. There was a lot that she had to grieve within that period. Now, fast forward to June 2022, the actress then opened up about her mental health challenges in an Instagram video, and I'm going to quote what she had said. "Everything is going to be fine. I have an issue right now and it's taking my life. I will not die. We will get over it." This was what she said in an Instagram video, as well as, explaining that she was given a job but could not carry out. She could not carry it out because of some mental health issues that she was undergoing at the time. Now, again, this is just a reminder that please take care of your mental health. Seek help when you can. If you experience anything whatsoever that you're struggling with, please seek help as much as you can. Once again, may her soul rest in peace. The very next person I'm going to talk about is Dakore Egbuson. Now, I have quite a lengthy note here, and I'm just going to read from this note. Dakore, in an interview with Today, mentioned that she had struggled with postpartum depression. Now, for those who are not aware, postpartum depression is a depression that women experience after giving birth. All right, so according to Dakore, she said her seemingly perfect life deteriorated because of postpartum depression. According to her, she had experienced some slight complications after birth of her daughter and was in a sad state, and somehow she just slipped into postpartum depression. And then she mentioned, and I quote, "I didn't even realize it was happening when it started happening." So imagine that kind of a feeling. Now again, Dakore said, "I started to realize that I started to realize that I wasn't using my creativity, so it was dying inside me. This was after 4 years of being away from work. I just had this consistent and persistent sadness, a lack of joy, almost like I would be struggling to reach the joy. Then sometimes I'll be very manic, that is like very happy, and then very sad." This was what she had mentioned in this interview with Chide. And then she said again, "After a while, I started going to therapy. My therapist asked me what I used to do before I had my baby. I told her I was an actor. She said to me, 'It's probably because you're not doing what you're used to doing. You've been doing this since you were a kid, and now you suddenly stopped.'" And she had identified that her depression kind of stemmed from recent changes in her life. And trust me, being a new mom, it's not a child's play. There's a lot of changes going on in you that sometimes you are not able to reconcile what is happening with you. All right, so that is Dakore's story, and like she mentioned, she had gone to therapy. So you see that therapy is something that is almost common in all of these stories that I have, just read out. So it's important that you get the actual help that you need. Seeking help is not a sign of weakness. If anything, it shows that you are so strong that you know what's wrong with you, and now you are going to get the help that you need. All right, let's go on to the very next person. So the very next person I'm going to talk about is Kayvee. Some of you are familiar or must be familiar with Kayvee, who was a housemate on the 2021 edition of Big Brother Naija the shine your eye, I think. Yeah. So we are aware that barely a week into the house, he kind of withdrew from the competition on medical grounds. And then on Monday, August 16, 2021, he explained later that it was because he had a mental breakdown. According to him, in a statement, when he was asked why he withdrew from the Big Brother house, he mentioned, and I quote, "I underestimated the effect isolation would have on my mental health and integrating with the other housemates. Isolation is one major factor that causes a lot of people to experience struggles with their mental health. Isolating from friends, isolating from family, and now you're coming into a new environment that you're not even sure what's going on. All right, for some people, this could have severe or adverse effects on their mental health, and in this case as well, Kayvee. And like he said, I honestly wanted to stay till the 72nd day, and I believe that I have the personality, the empathy, and the game spirit, to make it to the end. But certain events that happened in a quick succession escalated the anxiety I felt and impacted my being the jovial, energetic and fun person that I am. So this is just a little reminder again and disclaimer that this is not a pointer to say, okay, that person and that person, that would be stigma. We're not doing that. What I am doing with this video, what I aim to do with this video, is to let you know and remind you that mental health challenges can affect any person, 1 in 4. So if you're sitting among your friends right now, count 1, 2, 3, 4. One person out of the 4 of you would experience a mental health challenge in their lifetime. So imagine that, and imagine that you're not alone. As much as it may feel like that, it may seem like that, you're not. There's so many other people going through these things and so many people seeking actual adequate care that they need. And you need to do the same thing for yourself. All right. The very next person we're going to talk about is Joeboy. Yes, I know a lot of us are familiar with Joeboy. Now, Joeboy, in an interview with OK Africa, when asked if he had any personal experiences that threatened his mental health, said, "Quite typically, I record many songs, but at some point, it wasn't forthcoming. This was during the lockdown. I believe one of the triggers was that I was stuck within a place with nothing much to do. I felt defeated as everything about my artistry hinged on being out, and doing the opposite for like 2 months messed with my mind. Apart from speaking to someone, spending time on comic stuff, seeing movies, which is unlike me, watching and reading autobiographies of great entertainers are some of the ways that I manage it." He also explained something about when he first became aware of the severity of mental health issues, and he said, 2 years ago, honestly, I would laugh when people talk about being depressed or staying off social media for a while. It used to be funny until I learned about mental health and its importance. At some point, I too have been off social media because I was battling certain things, including writer's block. Now, bringing it on to isolation, like I mentioned before, isolation is a very critical trigger for mental health related issues. And just like Joeboy had mentioned in his during the COVID lockdown, he experienced a lot of challenges with his mental health as well because of isolation. And thank goodness he also had healthy coping skills that helped him manage this. And lastly, when he was asked about how can the music industry better help artists on mental health related issues, he said, "I think artists with popularity and a voice should talk about it more to sensitize people. I recommend that every artist have a psychologist or anyone they can confide in. Also, that they have their own safe space," which is very, very important because safe spaces are one of the best ways to help you navigate your own mental health related issues. You know, having a therapist you go to see when you feel anything is wrong, having people that you can talk to, these are super important things to keep note of when you're struggling with your own mental health. So these are just a few of our Nigerian celebrities or famous people who have struggled with some mental health challenge or the other, and the list goes on and on. I have about 8 different people here based on some research that I have done. However, I would like to stop here and again remind you that mental health is super important. And also remember that these celebrities are humans first before they became famous or before they became stars or celebrities and all of those things. Remember that they are humans first. The things you say, the comments you leave on their posts, these things, would you say that to a friend who was literally sitting beside you? Why would you be so rude and inhumane to someone else. All right, so please, let's watch what we say to these people, because they are still people. They will still go home and scroll through those comments and still read them, and it would or could still affect them. For those, even the ones who have developed a tough skin, at some point things will still get to you. So please remember that you are not alone. Be kind, be civil to people out there, stay mentally healthy, and seek help where you need it. Do not forget, I'm going to leave all of the information in the description box. Do check them out, and I will see you guys in the next video. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Oh, also do let me know if there are any other celebrities that you know that I did not mention in the comment section. And don't forget to share this with a friend. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.